The dimly lit warehouse reeked of gasoline and sweat. Agent Zero sat on the cold concrete floor, wrists bound with zip ties, head hanging low. To the untrained eye, she was just another victim, young, blonde, vulnerable. But that was the point. She was the bait, and the hunt had just begun. 3 days earlier, she had walked alone down a sketchy side street in Budapest, her schoolgirl act perfected down to the nervous glances and hesitant steps. It didn't take long. A black van skidded to a stop beside her. A masked man jumped out, yanked her into the vehicle, and the doors slammed shut. The moment the chloroform-soaked cloth pressed against her face, she knew she was in. She let herself go limp, feigning unconsciousness as they drove her deep into the underworld of human trafficking. It wasn't her first time playing the role of prey. She had been trained for this, fluent in 6 languages, an expert in Krav Maga and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and a master of escape and evasion. Agent Zero was a weapon designed for one purpose: to bring down monsters. When she woke, she was in a dark room with a dozen other girls, their eyes hollow, their spirits nearly broken, but not hers. Every second that passed, she analyzed, counted steps, noted guard shifts, and watched for weaknesses. Her captors had no idea they had taken the predator into their den. Over the next 2 days, she played the part, waiting for the right moment. Traffickers communicated in Russian and Arabic, discussing shipments and bribes. She listened, memorizing names and locations. She saw the leader, a scarred man they called Kirov, conducting business with dirty cops and politicians. Evidence says she needed it before she tore them apart. On the 3rd night, she made her move. She cut through her zip ties using a hidden razor embedded in her bracelet. Silent as a shadow, she crept past the guards, disabling security cameras with a small electronic jammer in her belt. One by one, she eliminated the men blocking her path, dislocated joints, crushed throats, a broken spine. No hesitation, no mercy. Finally, she reached the control room. A laptop sat on the desk, filled with transaction logs, names, and locations. She plugged in a USB drive and copied everything. Then, she triggered the emergency alarms. The girls screamed as the building filled with red lights and sirens. Kirov stormed in, gun drawn, barking orders. But Agent Zero was faster. She launched herself at him, dodging his bullet by inches before twisting his arm and driving his own knife into his gut. He gasped, eyes wide in disbelief. "You took the wrong girl," she whispered before twisting the blade. As Kirov crumpled, sirens blared outside. Interpol agents swarmed in, guns raised, rounding up the surviving traffickers. The mission was complete. As the rescued girls were led to safety, Agent Zero melted into the shadows, already preparing for the next hunt. The world was full of monsters, and she was the bait that lured them into the light.